This podcast has been brought to you by thethriving-startup.com. Hello and welcome to the Thriving Startup Podcast, the podcast that helps to support aspiring entrepreneurs just like you to start, grow and thrive in business. On today's episode, I am joined by an award-winning entrepreneur, a digital marketing expert and the founder of a business called Fly High Media. I am very pleased to introduce you to Matt Pyke. Matt Pyke, thank you so much for joining us today and welcome to the Thriving Startup Podcast. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you. Thanks so much for having me, Charlotte. Really appreciate your time and thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm really excited about this episode because the show's been going on for quite a while now, and it was lovely to have somebody reach out to me to say, oh, we'd like to be on your show, we'd like to be on your show. So that was a big compliment to me, and I'm really excited to dive more into your story. So Matt, you own an agency called Fly High Media. So could you tell us a little bit more about what the business does, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we're a digital marketing agency, specialize in SEO, PPC, web design and development, and socials. Basically, help businesses generate more revenue online, generate more leads for the business, and help them grow in any way that we can. I started the business back in 2016 while I was at university. The goal of it really was to have something to be able to graduate into, because I know like how tough it is to try and find a job directly out of university. So yeah, I was lucky enough to do that, and then when I could focus full-time efforts on that, that's when the business started to really take off. Like the whole of uni, you've obviously got to balance your studies, which is challenging, but at the end of it, it's been quite rewarding. So everything was really worth it, and I've enjoyed it ever since. We're based in Cheshire, in the northwest. We've got a small presence in Manchester as well, where the business started. So yeah, I guess that's my story to this day.
I mean, that's inspirational in its own right. Like the fact that you started it whilst you're at university. I take it you're in full-time study mode as well at that point.
Yeah. So it was my undergrad. So obviously starting in September, and then the business started in the January. Sorry, I think it started in the January, but then it was like a limited company in the March. So yeah, literally just over 9 years now.
Gosh, so you were full on then. So how did you manage and balance that time between being dedicated to your studies and also building a business?
So it's a lot of time dedicated, firstly, to like learning my craft at SEO and digital marketing. So I just spent a lot of time outside of lectures, by myself, working on learning about the like SEO and that kind of thing. So spent a lot of long hours, sacrifices, all that kind of thing, whilst balancing the studies. But yeah, I think with university, a lot of people sometimes knock it at times because they think it's not practical, but it's all about what you do whilst you're there. Make the most out of it, really. And I did make the most out of it because I got the most out of it in the time I had away from it. But then also at the end of it, you do have the fallback of the degree. So yeah, it was just a lot of sacrifices and long days, really. That's what I'd say.
Such a smart decision that is. So when you started your degree, did you always have that thought that you would start a business alongside your studies, or was it just something that just came out of nowhere?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to have a business one day. I didn't know what in whatever shape or form, but I was always interested in business from like a young age, like watching Dragon's Den and the Apprentice and stuff like that. So it was just always something I was interested in. I did a marketing degree, so it kind of lined up really. It kind of just made sense. Like my friends had other jobs, and I'd wanted to build something up to have long term, so like I could invest my time into something now. But when I was a bit younger, and then it would set me up for when I graduated. So that's what I did. So it just made the most out of the time whilst at university.
That's really good. That is. It's amazing how when you track it back to in your youth, when the entrepreneurial spirit starts to come to fruition, because that resonates with me. I knew from a very young age that I wanted to do my own thing. Didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do, but it was always something that was there. And I was like, okay, I just need to make sure that each decision that I make can help me along this path to get to the end goal of having my own business. Yeah, it's Dragon's Den and The Apprentice, that they were the staples, weren't they?
Yeah, it's more of a reality TV show nowadays, I think. But like back in the day, like when I was watching it when I was younger, it's really like business orientated. But yeah, it is still great to watch now. But yeah, it was
Yeah.
always interesting to see like how businesses work, and like even now I'm trying to just any business really just trying to break it down and work out the economics of it and see how it works and how it can be improved. And then yeah, that's kind of how it's helped my business as well.
Did you feel stressed like during uni, trying to juggle the two?
I think I handle stress quite well, really. Like I can get stressed in the moment, but then I'm pretty chilled and relaxed, really.
Yeah,
If
that's
I get
good.
if I get stressed now, like I just need like just a bit of time away from the computer, steam room, and sauna, and then I'm absolutely fine, to be honest.
Yeah,
But like when it comes down to it, like the only thing that really matters is family and things like that. So as long as they're okay, then yeah, I'm okay. But yeah, stresses do come, but I don't think that they're permanent. So, but as I say, like family is the most important thing, and yeah, business is second. So I don't really get stressed.
yeah. Well, that's really good. It's a nice way to think about it and a nice reminder, isn't it? So
Yeah,
the business started in 2016, so that means that you're officially 9 years old now.
yeah.
So would you do it all again?
Yeah, very good question. I think the landscape's changed a little bit, like in terms of digital marketing. It's become a lot lower barrier to entry now because I guess like during COVID there was a boom in I guess like freelancers and stuff like that. But because we've been around for a while, it holds some weight to it that we've been around for a while and we've been established. But if I was to do it again, it'd definitely be a business. I don't know what shape or form, but it is very competitive now.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'd be the exact same one, but it'd definitely be something difficult to say what. But yeah,
Yeah. So throughout your time as a business owner then, so 9 years in, what would you say is your proudest moment that you've achieved so far?
there's a lot of proud things really. Like I've won a couple of awards. One of them was the Young Entrepreneur of the Year in the Northwest. That was one of them. And then
Brilliant.
there's day to day proud things really. Like we got nominated for a European award that got announced today,
Oh wow.
which we're really proud of. And then we're proud of clients all the time. Really, like we've got clients that are breaking records, and to see like clients' businesses change and like maybe family run businesses change. So like we helped one business. They didn't believe in SEO really. And then we got to the point where we grew the business so much like they had to change premises. And you
Wow.
know, we've when it's making a physical impact like that, then that's really proud and rewarding. And then when the team improve and they grow as individuals and they get the kudos from that, then that's really rewarding to see as well. Like to see people win together, that makes me proud.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's fantastic. So you've got all those proud moments and congratulations on the awards. I know about the
sure.
Northwest Young Entrepreneur of the Year award, but the fact that you've been nominated for another one, when will you know about the award winning date for that one?
Yeah, so that's the middle of May. So there's an award ceremony in Poland. So
Yeah.
we're just trying to work out everything today. But yeah, it's the middle of May when we'll know.
Well, fingers crossed, and congratulations to you and the entire team
Thank
because
you.
that's fantastic. Just
Thank you.
start collecting those awards because that they certainly help with recognition, don't they? And brand credibility for the business, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, kind of helps build a moat around the business because it builds credibility and trust when clients come
Yeah,
to see that you've been established and that you're doing a good job for others. It's good social proof to show like the award's been put forward to showcase the results for a client. And yeah, the judges like what they saw, so yeah, it's got that stamp of approval, which is good.
that's fantastic. And you talk about your team. So, just how big is your team now?
Yeah, so we're at 14 now, so we're recruiting for a few more
Wow.
roles as well. So yeah, we're just looking to continue to grow, generate the best results for clients, keep clients happy, and make sure they keep coming back for more. Like that's something we're really big on: client services, retention, making sure they're happy. They're never going to be happy unless there's results, which is
Yeah.
first and foremost.
So, are they spread between account managers, your team? How's it
Yeah,
structured?
so what we do is we've got two people in client services. So they basically talk to the clients day to day, manage them by email, meetings, that kind of thing. And then we've got like the delivery team. So across SEO, PPC, social, they implement the work, they manage that internally and then report back to the client services team, which reports it back to the client. So that's one of the biggest things to the keys to growing a business is basically getting off the tools. So like at the beginning, everyone starts by themselves, don't they? And you
Yeah.
have to wear a lot of hats. But once you've got to like a revenue level that you know that you can start to hire people, you have to. I think the first hire that that we got like was someone to basically take the implementation off me, or like bring my implementation down to 50%, so I could spend it
Yeah.
on client services, spend it on sales and marketing, and then try and outsource like admin tasks or finance. We're looking to bring that in house now, but yeah,
Yeah.
just getting off the tools that is the crucial thing to grow, and so you can spend more time doing things. Like if I was still on the tools, I probably wouldn't be able to do this podcast because I'd be so busy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the key. And building systems and processes as well. That's what helps grow and systemize things. And using AI can help you streamline processes and create SOPs for both internally and for client work as well. So I guess like that's
Yeah. Well, that point where you've started off by yourself, and whether it's just you by yourself or whether it's, a small team around you, that growth stage where you're like, okay, the foundation is starting to feel solid now, and the profits are good, the revenue's good, it's consistent. But
yeah.
that pocket of time where it's still all hands on deck, all systems go, the multiple hats situation, it's exhausting, isn't it? So I
Mm.
totally agree with you that it's important for you to build a team as quickly as you possibly can, just so that you've got more time for yourself, whether that's to be looking at new innovative work in terms of products and services, or it's just to give yourself a little bit of time back, because that exhaustion, it's almost like it creeps up out of nowhere. Would you agree?
Yeah, you want to sort of work on your business, not in your business. Like that's no one wants to be like, you want to get to the stage where the business can live without you. So like if you do want to take time off or whatever, there's not going to be
Yeah.
any cogs in the wheel that stops, especially with clients when daily they're trusting us with budgets and things like that. We need to make sure that the wheels are turning at all times, and there's processes and steps in there to make sure that everything keeps going at all times. So
Yeah.
um,
And when you hire somebody, how do you feel about that? Because you're a seasoned pro at it now, because you've got a team of 14 people. But in those early days, were you nervous about bringing anybody else on board?
yeah, I suppose it's like it's always like a learning phase, isn't it? Because you don't get taught that at university, so you just have to pick it up as you go. Really, you start noticing traits in people that you like, the traits that you don't want, that kind of thing. You take learnings from it. So trying to hire
Yeah.
the right people with good attitudes, people that are willing to learn, people that are good with people, and as you start to grow a team, you've got to think about how they fit in with people and help build a good positive culture that wanting to do good for clients and wanting to see the results at the end of it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is a difficult thing that just grows and evolves over time, and there's a lot of learnings from over the years. So yeah.
Yeah. Getting somebody who fits into the business and the culture is so vitally important, isn't it? Because if you get just one wrong hire, it can just completely just sour the cart, as people say. It's really important. And to have somebody who is good people person, particularly when you're client facing, it's vitally important. Even if your instincts start to flare up saying, oh, this person doesn't really have the right tone, or they don't have the right approach, they don't have the right care, it's best to avoid that individual and move on.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, like that's why we always hire on attitude and willingness to learn, because if someone wants to learn enough, then they will. And yeah, that's kind of how we go about it.
Yeah, absolutely the right approach in my opinion. So, advice for anybody who's looking to start a business, or they have just started a business. What would your advice be in terms of where they need to focus their efforts and investments?
It would definitely be like sales and marketing to start, because without clients you can't grow. So whether you have to sometimes delegate things to freelancers if you've got the budget to, but really focus on getting your name out there and try and get everywhere you can. Make sure that you speak to people, meet people, build partnerships with people, have good relationships. If when you're first starting out, like when you're a student, build connections there, for example, because your peers may go into jobs elsewhere on the outside. In terms of like the best way for me to find it, in my experience, is through advertising yourself. Like we get most of our business through our website, through people searching for the services that we offer. So any business without a well optimized website, it's a waste of a website, really. Like trying to get people to come to your site, it's a good place to show your trust and credibility. It's basically your 24/7 salesperson. So making sure that at all times you can show off those trust signals. So like show off your portfolio, show off what you do, who you are, where you're based, like phone number, that kind of thing. All those little basic steps that helps with generating leads. And then just looking good across social media as well, like keeping branding consistent, posting regularly as well. Videos are a very big bonus. Like you kind of call it like you can call it multiple things, but it's like having an omnipresence across as many channels as you can. It depends what kind of business. Things need to be suitable for it. But yeah, focus on lead generation first, and then as you start to grow and as you can't manage the workload yourself, you can start to look to hire freelancers. I was lucky at university because I was sometimes hiring like my friends that were on complimentary courses, like design courses or whatever. So
Yeah.
I got them to help me with things that I couldn't do, and that helped grow. So a heavy emphasis when you start should be sales and marketing. I was terrible at it
Yeah.
when I started. Like I hated, like picking up the phone and things like that. I used to just try and email, and then I was wondering why I wasn't getting more clients. But yeah, just be confident, and picking up the phone is probably one of the best things to do. And I'd recommend to anyone starting out, focus on sales and marketing and do it the right way and build relationships and don't be pushy, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's really good. And then once you get a partnership relationship with people, like we partner with other agencies where we get business from that as well with complementary services. So that's always good as well. But yeah, just goes back to being a good people person really, and
Yeah.
speaking to the right people, networking. It's a bit of a minefield networking, but like if you can get someone to introduce you to a good networking circle, that can be really golden for you. And you only have to get it right once. Like I try and go to as many events as I can. I might be a bit like, it might not be a good event, but it can just be like you meet one person at the end of the night and it can completely change it and make it worthwhile. I always just kind of go back to some books. They may be like out of 200 pages, 180 of them might just be waffle. But if there's 20 really valuable pages, then it's really worthwhile reading the whole book. So
Yeah.
it's just about putting as much time and effort in as possible, really. And over time, you fine tune and you sort of understand what's the most valuable use of your time. But just try and get as much, like especially when you're starting, like I did, like just try and take in as much as possible and build as many relationships as you can at volume. So
Yeah. Ask for help. I think we're always afraid to ask for help, aren't we?
that's another thing as well. Like when I graduated again, like I was just fresh out there, like big goals and ambitions. And people are scared to like reach out to people, but I reached out to someone on LinkedIn, and then he just
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, sure. Like, are you free for a call?" And I was on a call for him for like an hour, and he helped me a lot. And then I'm really good friends with him now. Like
That's brilliant.
since I graduated in 2018. So yeah, like just asking for help, like one conversation can change everything. So
Yeah.
anyone listening to this, just don't be afraid to ask that question.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people say yes, and most of the time, people want to help people. I always help
Absolutely.
people. Like I like helping people. I talk at universities. If someone's got a question, I always answer it. And if I don't know the answer, then I might know someone that can help them. So
Yeah.
it's good karma as well.
Totally agree about the karma side. Completely about that. But I think that the asking for help, I don't know what it is, but there's almost like people have got this stigma that it's almost weak sometimes, so they shy away from asking for help. I don't know whether it's to do with egos, or I don't know whether it's you're afraid of what people may think of you. But there's no shame in asking for help. And if you can
No.
ask somebody who's already achieved, way beyond the level of where you are at the moment, why wouldn't you ask for help? Because your goals are, well, I want what they've got. So
Yeah, yeah,
why
sure. I mean,
why
like,
why wouldn't you ask?
yeah, I mean, like people with, like maybe like a big following online or whatever, it's unlikely that they're going to get back to you or see your messages. But people that are one or
Hmm.
two steps ahead of you, they're going to be likely to get back to you, and you can get a lot of information and value from it. You have to speak to a few people a little bit ahead of you, maybe a few years down the line from you or whatever, and
Yeah,
that more than likely they want to help. And maybe it is a confidence thing, but that's the thing, you can't really get through business or life without confidence, and you just have to push it, and no one's going to push that. No one can do that for you. So you have to just bite the bullet one day, and do it.
yeah,
And like, if if you aren't confident, then when I was younger, like you just pretend to be confident. So like I used to think like, what would a confident person do in this situation? And then if you do it enough times, then you go into that feeling confident without thinking about it. And I feel more comfortable talking with strangers now than I
Yeah.
used to. So it's just something that evolves over time, and the more conversations you have, the more it opens up, and the more you practice, the better you get. So that's why it's good to talk to
Yeah.
people and get out there.
Yeah. Completely agree. I think confidence, if you start to think about it like a muscle, and
Mhm.
if you just keep flexing away at it, then it'll grow and it'll get stronger.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. So you spoke about branding, about
Mhm.
making sure that the branding is consistent across the platforms. So for somebody who's just like, oh, okay, branding's just another buzzword, can you explain what branding actually means?
Yeah, I mean, branding, although it does include your logo, it includes your colors and things like that, but it's more about like your tone of voice, like how you come across, what your values are, that kind of thing. So a big thing that we pushed and that we announced is I got a new strapline, which is your growth, our focus. So that makes it clear like
Hmm.
what we're about and what we stand for and how we serve clients. So having that consistent, clear message and how you talk, and then you can go to the granular detail of like your fonts and the way that your content's laid out on your website. Having that brand consistency really helps and builds trust and confidence. And having your email signature the same, again, it's just
Yeah.
another reinforcement. And we've got a bright color which is red, so the reinforcement of the red, that really helps. And being across everything and being consistent, that's another thing. We look at businesses that haven't posted for a long time, and people are thinking like
Hmm.
if they're still in business or they haven't updated the working hours on the Google profile, it doesn't help. So that's the thing that we help businesses with. Branding's not just designing, it's about how people think and feel about you. And
Yeah.
it's important that it's consistent across absolutely everything, online and offline as well.
Yeah. Yeah, completely agree. So in terms of somebody who's looking to they've decided this weekend maybe, right, I am going to bite the bullet. I am going to start this business. I'm going to bring this a wonderful idea that I have to life. If their budget is incredibly tight, what
Mhm.
would be your go-to checklist of things that they need to do first and foremost in terms of digital marketing?
The number one is just do it. Like if you're thinking about it, just do it. In terms
Hmm.
of digital marketing, if you've got a business name, make sure that you try and get the consistent handles across everything. So like ours is Flyer Media Ltd everywhere. Like my personal ones are Matthew J Pyke everywhere. So try and get those handles absolutely everywhere. So they're branded. You don't want to have mixed ones if possible. Obviously get your branding correct, get your missions down, so like your mission statement put together so people know who you are, know your ideal customer, so you know who you're
Hmm.
selling to. And then every time you're writing a post, you know who you're trying to talk to try and come to you. So once you know that, because that's something that I didn't really think about when I first started. So knowing who you're trying to sell to, yeah, that's another big thing. Making sure your website's professional, making sure that it's fast, people can get to it. You're writing regular content, you're optimizing it for Google. If you've got like a physical location, set up a Google business profile. Um, have something to generate leads further down the line. So maybe you have uh, like a free download or something like that, and then people join the mailing list. I wouldn't put that as high up on the priority because it's a little bit more long term.
Hmm.
Yeah, just looking professional online and having like a phone number on your website, an address, all these things, they all add up and they can build trust and credibility. And people buy from companies that are trustworthy and credible. And that's a big part of it. You wouldn't trust a poor performing website because you think that it reflects with that.
Yeah.
And we work with businesses that are like so successful offline, but like when they come to us, that it doesn't reflect that online. So like that's the
Hmm.
conversation I have, that you're so successful online, you're making that amount of money offline, and we need to make that reflect online. So yeah, that's part of our job to come in and help with that. So keep everything consistent, know who you're selling to, and then once you have done all that, then make sure you just either posting your message out regularly to customers. So that's probably
Yeah.
a checklist. I don't know if it's priority order because there's quite a lot, but
Yeah.
Just do things in manageable steps. So like, don't try and do it all at once. Maybe like on a weekend, think of it whenever you're most creative or productive. Think about your mission statement, your customers, build a customer avatar, that kind of thing. Look at your competitors as well. See what they're doing. See what they're doing well. See where the opportunities are. Look at 3 to 5 competitors. There's so much, but I wouldn't do everything all in one go because you just get overwhelmed and you probably give
Yeah.
up and need to do everything in stages, like over a few weeks. But also on the flip side of that, don't take forever to do it either. Otherwise, you will lose interest. And a lot of entrepreneurs, they kind of lose interest really quickly in things, myself included, because I'm not like a
Yeah.
starter finisher. Like I kind of come up with ideas, and I'm at the stage where I'm lucky that I can get someone else to implement it.
Yeah. Delegate out.
Yeah, exactly. But at the start, like I stuck to one thing, and then now I can delegate things. But yeah, just stick with one thing and keep going. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Just out of curiosity, what time of the day is your most productive for like this creative stuff?
I mean, probably the wrong times of the day, to be honest. Like I don't
Hmm.
really like mornings aren't really like my most creative times. It's literally like 9, 10, 11 at night when I'm just starting to meant to be winding down, and that's when the best
Yeah.
ideas come. Like because I've had the whole day to mull things over. Like if I've just had a thought at the start of the day, starts to
Yeah.
roll around. Like I hear certain bits of information or I've done certain amounts of research. I've seen a few TikToks on an idea. I think, is that worth it? And then the more you see, the more you read, the more you hear. There's a load of noise, but then there might be like the occasional dot that joins together, and then the dot can spiral into something good. So normally by the end of the day, my head's full with ideas. Most of them are rubbish, but then one idea to improve one process or one idea to move a client forward if there's been a problem, it
Yeah.
it all accumulates. So mine's at night time, but it's different for different people. So yeah,
I'm in that camp as well. So my most creative time is between 8 p.m. and 1 a.m.
yeah, yeah,
You cannot get me to sit down during the day, during normal working hours, and have any kind of creative ability within me to sit down and get that out on paper. I can't do it.
yeah.
And for years, well, for 4 years, I battled with it. Just like, oh, come on, you've got more to give than this. Why is it not coming?
Mm,
But I think probably about 3 years ago, I just accepted this is how I'm wired.
yeah, you have to.
Let's just let it just do its thing. And if that's my most productive time for creative work and innovation, then so be it. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
tiring though.
Yeah, everybody's different, yeah, and you just have to accept it and know what you're good at and know what you're not good at and know what
Yeah.
works for you because nothing's the same. It does help though if you've got a good network where if you do come up with an idea, you can bounce ideas off other people, and if they say it's a bad idea, you should probably listen to them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, as
that's just
long as
from
they
my experience.
understand it as long as they understand it in full, because
If it, yeah,
you could discuss something and share an idea that's just wild and wacky, but the people that
exactly,
you're
yeah.
speaking to, they're like, oh, I don't know what you're on about, so no, it's a bad idea.
Oh,
They need to
exactly. Yeah,
understand it in
yeah,
full.
yeah.
Yeah.
I speak to like my peers, like the ones that are in similar situations to me, or like further down the line, and then they say, yeah, we tried that, it didn't really work. Thinking of doing it differently, and then you know, that they kind of say it's not going to work. So you have to be careful who you listen to as well. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of people have business ideas and start up, and like it's good, but like you need to bounce ideas around from multiple people when you're starting. Speak to people that are steps along, and speak to people like yourself to get experienced views on things, and that's super important. And building that network's really important as well.
Yeah.
And then there's loads of communities online as well, just like forums, that kind of thing, YouTube, everything. There's loads of places to meet people for ideas and get your ideas listened to.
The community element is something that I've recently explored, and I'll tell you what, that is an environment that is not to be shied away from. So
Yeah,
just to give it a bit
absolutely.
of context, I have landed a contract with the most bizarre niche that I never thought would be on my radar ever, but laser tattoo removal. So
Oh
I've
wow.
got a contract now that's been set up by this training academy who teaches aspiring laser tattoo removal shop owners to go into business properly, but then to use my services. It's a niche that I would never have thought of in a million years, but that came about because of one conversation that I had in my network.
Wow.
And now I've tapped into a community. I would never have thought about that, like even 6 months ago. So,
They say
okay.
that the riches are in the niches. So like any business is starting out. So like it is good to maybe find a niche that's good for you,
Yeah.
and double down on that, and opens the opportunity to more further down the line. And yeah, like sub communities and stuff like that, like the very, very dedicated fans. So like the advocates in a sense.
Yeah.
So there's not many of them, but they make up a lot of revenue for examples. So yeah, I mean it's the same with SEO. I won't bore you with that too much, but if you search like a keyword in Google, like SEO, you get all sorts of people searching for it. So you get people looking for information about SEO services, all that kind of thing. But if you say SEO for e-commerce websites, there's a lot less people searching for that, but that they're looking for it right there and then. So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. Like it's important to look into the community side of things and niches as well.
Yeah. Totally agree. And I've got a different level of appreciation of it now. So, in terms of trends that you've identified, particularly for 2025, what would you advise people in terms of trends that they need to keep an eye out for?
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't really answer this question without mentioning AI, and I think it's
Yeah.
especially important for entrepreneurs to use it and abuse it. Really,
Yeah.
it's basically unlimited ideas. So if you come up with a business idea, for example, explain it in a lot of detail. Ask ChatGPT to pick holes in it. Ask ChatGPT to weigh up the pros and cons for you. All this helps you generate ideas. You don't even have to speak to anybody else. You just speak to ChatGPT and it'll troubleshoot things for you, help you come up with plans. Like you obviously don't follow them to letter. It needs human input on all that kind of stuff, but it can help really automate mundane tasks and help improve the efficiency of processes, that kind of thing. It can help you plan and structure content. It can help you put you in a direction if you're just unsure of things. Again, like if you say into ChatGPT or Google, any sort of search engine, like how do I start a business? And then it might be like, first of all, get a business coach. And then someone's like, what's one of them? And then you go into a lot of detail of what it is. And then they'll sort of go down that step by step. But yeah, just using AI to explore, and the way that it works compared to Google, like you can have basically like a conversation with it, so it sounds like
Yeah.
your personal life consultant, really. So maximize it as much as possible, ask as many questions and troubleshoot ideas, really. So like if I'm stuck on a problem and I'm not sure on what options to even look at, it at least pushes in the right direction of what you can look for and if it is possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely use AI and integrate it where you can to try and improve things, improve efficiencies. And then if you're into databases or numbers and stuff like that, and you don't know what it's telling you, then it can try and make sense of that for you as well.
Yeah.
And if you just, again, going back to inefficiencies and stuff like that, and you just explain to ChatGPT with the full context of things, that'll help you come up with different variations of ideas and answers. And if you're looking to structure a team, for example, that can help you put you in the right direction as well. So yeah, the possibilities are endless, really. You're basically talking to, I wouldn't say like an expert, but they're an expert pointer in the right direction.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's huge, and it's going to continue to get bigger and better.
Yeah. There's no stopping it now, is there? Um,
No,
the
no.
point that you raised about having a conversation with it is a good piece of advice, because I am aware that a lot of people who I come into contact with, they've said, "Oh, we used AI this week," and I put in like, "What is this?" and like they've produced the answer. Okay, well, did you press it? Did you ask it for any more information? Did you ask it to expand on what the results were? Oh, no, I just took it as the answer. Okay, so you're using it like Google. The best way to do it and to use it is to try and move it into having a conversation. Oh, okay, so you've put the answer A and B. Well, which one carries more weight? Which one is more successful? Make sure that
Yep.
you look at these particular industries to put together your findings, and the next answer needs to be laid out in X, Y, and Z format.
Mhm.
It's very good, and it's certainly not going anywhere anytime soon, is it?
No, no, absolutely. It's very, very, very good for troubleshooting problems and things like that, and organizing all your ideas and thoughts. So, like, if you put down a big paragraph, you just do like a word vomit, and then it helps you
Yeah,
structure it and come up with ideas and help you prioritize things. So, if you come up with like um a list of outgoings or whatever, like it helps you like prioritize it, categorize it, all that kind of thing. So, yeah,
yeah,
it's great.
yes, it's a very, very, very good tool.
Yeah,
So,
agreed.
Matt, I've really enjoyed our conversation today. So, thank you very much for joining us. Just
Thank you.
before we say goodbye, can you
Mhm.
share what's next on the horizon for you, please?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to continue to keep growing Flyer Media. We're looking forward to be working with a lot of great clients for the rest of the year. Want to keep continuing to bring more people in, growing clients' businesses. I want to start branching out and helping businesses take their business online for the first time through consultancy. And yeah, there's just always stuff going on. I want to continue to improve the processes and efficiencies, open up new services at Fly
Yeah.
High and for my consultancy as well. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, the core missions at the front and center of it of growing the clients' businesses, and in return, it helps our business grow as well. Without the clients' business growth, we don't grow either. So,
The consultancy side of the business would be fantastic, especially because of your longevity and success that you've had over the last 9 years. You'd definitely be a trusted partner to get into the door for clients. Definitely.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. As I said before, there's so many successful offline businesses that don't know how it works online. And if they are online, it might not be the optimum for them, where they're missing out on opportunities, basically money being left on the table. And it's going to be my job to help businesses get the most from the digital marketing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Matt, thank you so much for your time. I've really enjoyed having you on the show. So thank you very much, and we'll speak soon.
Thanks very much for having me, Charlotte. Thank you.